Do you see this pandemic adjusting the way a dealership is kind of structured from an operations perspective?
I believe there's two ways of selling. You have the transactional way, which is you got the BDC, you got people waiting for dealer-driven opportunities, you have um, the manager's coaching and all that stuff. And then you have the relationship way. So what I've been a proponent of with Damian Boudreau and Dwayne Marino is the relationship way of selling. They're just two different things. All the salespeople that I've encountered, I think if you're not in the relationship game today, then you're pretty much done because you don't have any traffic. You got to be able to build relationships, connect with people. You have to be their Google and here's the thing. That's an interesting point on F&I because believe it or not, and when I'm doing a sales meeting at a store, I'll talk about Aldi Retta because he's selling 100 plus cars a month, all relationship. People coming to him, they love him, but Jason, he's his own F&I manager. So then on the transactional side, I go to a store here just a few weeks ago, and the guy's like, you know what, we're doing fantastic. We did 54 cars last month. We got 5 people. And we don't, I think and they're talking. I'm like, dude, what do you, myself, I'm saying, dude, what are you talking? 54 cars you have to be able to do more. That guy, I know that guy well. That guy's a transactional sales manager. So it's all about it's dealer driven opportunity. So they get stuck. So all I know is the relationship way. If you're in the relationship business, it's just a different game. That's a totally different game. That's just my thoughts.
No. I'm with you on that. I think what we're going to see, from a sales perspective and also from a leadership perspective, is the cream really is going to rise to the top. In times like this, I saw the exact same thing happen right after the recession. There are dealerships that folded up. There were sales managers that went off to look for different jobs. There were salespeople that went off to look for jobs. And the ones that kind of stuck around were the ones, to your point, John, that did an amazing job of creating relationships, nurturing those relationships, and finding ways to continue to bring value to the customer, right? I think that's always the key. Hey, Chris, for yourself, what are your thoughts on kind of how, the operations or the structure of a dealership may actually change, moving forward?
Well, operationally, I made a comment on a post recently. I went through in 1999 sort of a large event called the New Economy and the creation of the New Economy. And it modified the way business was done to the core. And the New Economy was a result of something we called the Internet Revolution. So those two things changed business as we know it. We had in America the military structure previously, to where you as an employee advanced based on years, time on the job, and all of a sudden with the New Economy, it was based on your ability to create revenue. So at the time, I was launching what was the first internet professional services firm, ad agency that built websites, and I had web builders, flash builders, on 3 continents, and there were 19-year-old kids making $1 million a year. So at any rate, my point is that it seems that one of the very last holdouts on adopting the infrastructure of a New Economy business was the auto dealership. The components to a New Economy business are no inventory, no employees, no overhead. So for me, I've just been watching dealerships go on and build this incredible infrastructure with every local resident being employed there, and then having an assistant. It just didn't make sense. So you see the used car folks coming in with the New Economy business model, and all of a sudden everybody's going, "Wow, what's up with that?" Not necessarily speaking of the coin operated.
You can say it, you can say the Carvana word. I know it's not a dirty word on this one. I got a lot of 4-letter words we say in this show. That one's fine.
All of those used car models are new economy models. None of the new car models were new economy models. That's a result, I think, of the 1,000-pound gorilla manufacturers. They have a model and they want that model, and they're going to do everything they can. Unfortunate side of it is that the manufacturers have also pushed down stress on sales that has 10 salesmen at waiting at the curb if anybody looks like they might drive in. So to the point, you made a point that in the adapting to the new economy business model, they're actually saying, wow, cost per acquisition's down, overhead's down. Look at this, half the sales, and I've got a larger profit. Go figure.